Cheers. And how you doing?
I just have one thing.
Uh-oh. What happened?
I'm messing up the
All right,
intro. Go ahead.
That's okay. This is TMI. A little too much information. If you didn't know by now, my name is Chad. And every single week, I'm joined here by the Vampire Queen, one and only Shelly Martinez. We're coming out from the shadows. What is going on in your world, Miss Shelly? It's been a while. Let me look at you. Let me make sure you haven't changed much.
I have.
All right, you're good.
I have actually. Here's the thing. Much like how I botched the entire opener of our show right now, I am so thrown the F off. You know, for over 2 weeks now, I've been moving. And it's been very traumatic for me. I don't know if you've seen some of my posts, but I've been posting videos of when I was moving out of my old house, and I'm still like dealing with that. And it's so crazy because I just did an interview yesterday for a podcast. And one of the things I talked about was it's so crazy because, as I've said before here on our show, when the time came for me to eventually leave that house, it was going to be a big deal. And when I knew like a month ago that I was going to be moving, it happened super fast. I did not want to move. And I felt rushed and forced into it. And I say forced into it. Why? Because the facts are facts. Metal Jesus pays the bills. So I'm a broke ass. So I have to go with the program, right? So that alone, just those feelings of what that made me feel like triggered so much. It triggered when I was a little girl, Shelly, and where it all really stems from. And then, of course, where I got stuck, where I keep getting stuck, is it always goes back to wrestling. And all the wrestling wounds that I've had, some of them been able to address here on our show, some of them I've been able to heal from because of our show. So because of all of that and all that positive, I didn't realize there were some rooted things that were still there because I thought I was doing better. I can watch wrestling and appreciate it. I get excited when I see stuff that I used to love, when I fan out, being like, I never thought I'd be able to feel that way. So I thought I was in a good place. And it's not that I'm in a bad place, because now that I say it out loud like that, it's not the wrestling business part that's still affecting me. The work. It's not that. It's the disappointments with people who I thought had my back. Having to realize nobody had my back but me. And and we've talked about it here on the show, and then the whole thing, and it just triggers. Here's what it is because I've healed with the world of wrestling and a lot of my wounds there. I've transferred that same energy over to newer people in my life, like people after I left wrestling. So if someone really hurt my feelings, like that wound is more fresh than like my wrestling wound because it was so long ago. So now I feel like say this person over here I have a falling out with or whatever, and I was really close with them, and it's like in the last 10 years. I didn't realize that whole what I go through, there's still old resentment from my time in wrestling and different people, and that has been so draining to go through that whole cycle over and over and revisiting and revisiting and revisiting, and like having to dig deep and go like, okay, Why is this still bothering me? Okay, now I gotta like slow down because now I keep cycling these thoughts. So I gotta figure this the F out. And then at the same time, I'm leaving a place that when in the last 6 years, life got too real and hard for me, that house was like the only thing that made me feel safe. In my garage, those were like no matter what, especially that garage, no matter what was going on, that was my safe space. That's where I can collect myself. That's where I can figure shit out. That's where I can just take a breather, man. And with this move, that safe space has been taken from me. And that triggers so much. And then trying to do the best I can with staying positive and making things work here at this new house. One of the things that I was really concerned about was I didn't wanna be in a neighborhood like how I grew up. And Chad, I'm in a neighborhood like I grew up. It's not the
Oh,
safest.
wow.
It steps down from where I was, my safe space. So, not only do I don't have my physical safe space because I have that Citizens app that I've talked about many times. I see
Oh,
what's been
yeah.
going around here. And so I don't feel safe. And then that brings up so many other incidences that didn't feel safe, and now but it's, like, right before we met here and I was outside medicating, I was just praying, and I was like, "You know what, God? I know you're trying to show me something here, and just, like, help me be patient and help me be able to control my emotions more, because that's what's gonna get me." And maybe that's the lesson. Like, I literally was like, maybe that's it. Maybe this is I've been asking God to help me have more patience and to control my emotions more. And maybe this whole whirlwind I've been in for over 2 weeks now is that, but it's a lot, and so that's why, like, I literally feel like when you're like, "Let me look at you. Did you change?" I don't even feel me. I feel like I'm out of body and I'm just, like, floating around trying to reconnect with myself, but I don't even know who myself is right now, so I can't connect, and it's like I see this girl and I wanna help her and I wanna connect with her, but it's just not happening. They're static. And so I'm just floating around, just like living, going through life. And I don't like that, man. I don't, but that's what my reality is right now. And that's what's been going on.
So, okay, wow, that's a lot to
No.
unpack, but let me start with let me start with your safe space, right? Let me start with your back cave where, you spent hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours, creating content over the years and doing all of your business there, okay? Saying goodbye to that is tough, 100%. I get that. We all have to make decisions sometimes that we don't always believe in, but what's preventing you from making this space the same safe space right now? Is it just those thoughts of like, okay, I'm in like a previously non-desirable area that for yourself personally, is it that preventing it? Is it, maybe like the change that you're still trying to accept? Like where do you think you can go to make that your next safe space? I mean, or your destination or your go-to spot? Like what's preventing that?
Okay. So, first of all, you're right about the creating, especially just all the times that I sat there, the non glamorous side of doing, 18 plus content. Sitting there going, "What the F am I doing with my life?" And sitting there and having that defeat, that to me and then after that, doing a full-on photo shoot and the whole process of having to do all that, that's how deep it goes for me, and then when I was setting up, I was like, "Oh, I gotta, like, set up in my room," like, and there's boxes everywhere. I was like, "Wait a minute." I could just use my green screen. And when I knew I was gonna be moving, like, back in June, what I did is I went in my garage and I took a picture of my flower wall and my vampire radio wall. And I was like, I just had to green screen it so at least I can feel like whatever. And so now fast forward, I haven't done this background. Like, I was doing it at the old house because it was air conditioned inside and like whatever. But I took my breath away for a second when I first like went to like log into the link. I was like, oh my gosh, my wall. That's right. And so I have a garage here. But the setup is just different. It's in front of the house, whereas before I had more privacy and security with being in the backyard. Um, there was a pedestrian door into it, of course, and this
Mm.
one, it only has a old school like, this house I'm in now is, like, a real old school house, and the man who lived here, he was, like, 80, and that's when he sold the house to us, so he's been here since, like, the '70s. So,
Oh,
a lot of
wow.
stuff is old school, like the garage door, it is the classic, it doesn't roll up, it's a wood, real hard wood, and it just
Oh,
whatever, and
wow.
there's
Okay.
no pedestrian walk-in. So, every time I go into the garage, I'm gonna have to open the entire garage. Let me tell you, for the in June, until we, like, started moving here, I was spending my time going online going, "Okay, how do we fix this? Can we get a garage door that has a walkthrough?" And then I did all that, and then is it cheaper to cut a hole in one of the walls and like, I have been trying to make this work. Like, I literally was like, "I just have to make it my safe space, make it my creative space, whatever, whatever." So for 2 months now, I have been trying to figure this out to where I was like, "Ugh, I just don't know. It seems like a lot." And then I'm like, "Well, maybe if we just in the backyard, there's an area and one of my sheds from the old house, it didn't come with us on our move because it's just too big to move." And so I was like, "Well, what if we get like" I had a metal shed, a wood shed, and then we'll just like make that the thing, but it's like a whole effing anxiety I've had. So that's where I'm at with it. And I told myself, "Well, look, I'll figure it out. It's summertime, so it's helpful to shoot and do stuff inside anyways." So, like, I have some time to regroup and try to figure it out. And then right now, that garage is stacked to the gills of our stuff. So, I'm still working through here in the house, not living out of boxes, and I'm like 75% there. And then after that, there's a packed to the gills garage, so I can't even start trying to put things together in there right now, even if I wanted to. So everything's just very limiting right now. And I think that when
Okay.
you tally up the list of all the things, that's what's spinning me out. And then having people around me at times that are secretly haters. And I know it, and I can't be fake, as I've talked about many times here on the show. And at the same time, I pick and choose my spots. So I'm not gonna be one to just pop off and be like, "Oh, you're gonna say that," or, "Oh, why'd you say it like that?" I could, and I say it in my head, but I know it's not the right thing. So I'm just being tested on every effing level right now. And it's really, really draining. That's why I had to take a shot at the beginning of the show. And that's why I was like, you know what? Last minute, I was like, I am wearing I refer to this bathing suit as my Barbie bathing suit. I was like, I just want to feel good. And I feel like crap right now. So I'm going to put on my damn Barbie bathing suit on. And so that's what I effing did.
See, I couldn't get the shot in time. I couldn't get to my Barbie bathing suit either. So, I mean, I failed you in 2 different departments.
It's okay.
We are going to make the best of this unfortunate change and situation for you. We are going to find ways to make it a positive. If it means anything, it doesn't look like you've changed your like your area. your content still looks like it's being produced in the same spot. So you've replicated very well right now. So I just know
Oh, that means
you
a lot to me. Thank you.
I I know you just looking at me and behind where you have your camera set up might not be what you want to see, but at least as a viewer, and I know our viewers that are watching, because I mean, I would implore you to comment. They see what you have always looked like on our side. To me, you look just like the last TMI, which we filmed in basically the second week of July. And if that means anything to you, at least you've replicated your station very well.
It does. It really, really does because things like that matter to me. I think about things like that. I've said it a million times and will continue to say it a million more. I am not just a talent. I am somebody that's like not just in front of the camera. I've always been romanced of production in general. That's why I care about these little tiny things and this, that, and the other because like, I'm not picking on him, but I can never be like a Renee Dupree, right? Like, I could never just, like, have this
Hang on,
successful
turn
YouTube
your lights
show.
off. Here, I'm gonna make
I could
myself
it
darker.
works for
Hang on, here we
him.
go. I'm darker now, just like Renee Dupree.
It works for him, but I am not that, and so to hear that compliment, it does mean a lot to me because everything I do is very intentional, even when people don't realize it, so
All right, let me see. Look, all right. Now I'm like Renee Dupree. Look, you can't see me. Oh my gosh. Well, that's a lot,
I
for
know,
sure.
dude.
But also, too, I mean, look, when we recorded our last TMI days, you didn't even have like your internet set up. So I know it was a process for you to get things like rolling, and get it going. But again, you'll get there. Now, how about this? I'm thinking of this as we're talking. Do you have like any space where you can buy one of those like Amazon houses that you could put in your backyard and then all
I've looked
poof, there you
into
go.
it.
And
I looked into all
I'm
of I'm
sure you
telling
have.
you, like a crazy woman, I have been just trying to think of I shipping containers. Like, I have thought trying to figure this whole thing out, dude, and what one of the things I came up with is in my backyard, there's this really cute porch, and that's where I go to medicate, and I'm so paranoid because I noticed when the house not directly behind me, but over, so I could see a little bit of their backyard. They have, like, a kids' playground thingy, and so it's like,
Oh, that's
I
annoying.
don't no, no, I don't want my cannabis smoke going over there, like, that's not cool, and it really bothers me. So I got myself this thing called the Smoke Buddy, and apparently it works well because people keep telling me they can't tell and it filters out the, smoke, and I vaporize, so that helps as well, but I told Metal Jesus, I was like, "Look, I think you're gonna have to enclose this patio, and then that's just the only way I'm gonna feel no anxiety about when I smoke out here until we figure this whole thing out with what the garage or a woodshed, like, what are we doing here? I don't know." I'm so frazzled about this whole living situation. And so sharing with you and the viewers how frazzled I am, this is representation of why all this stuff is freaking me out because it's just all over the place. And it took me a really long time to understand that I had to learn on my own way later in life how important routine is, how important doing your little things every day is for you in your mental head or headspace or whatever. So this just isn't good. None of this is good. Everyone says, "Oh, how exciting!" I'm like, no. Oh, I meant no. I even told my mom's husband the other day. He was trying to be all positive. I said, "Look, can you just let me be miserable? Just let me be miserable. Like, what's wrong with that?" I need to be miserable. Like, I'm just trying to stay positive. Yep. I've looked at that. There's one called Purple Leaf. Yep, there it is. Purple Purple Leaf. I did a sunroom or a greenhouse, and then I keep going up the tough shed.
Not gonna lie, I want one of these.
It looks cool, doesn't it?
This looks amazing. I mean,
I
like, look at
know.
that. And
I know.
I mean, what is it? $3,500? Look at
I
that.
know. And apparently it's like not difficult to put together. It's very as long as you follow the instructions. Da, da, da. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I know Purple
35
Leaf.
and
Yes. The only thing is with Purple Leaf, I keep wanting to try to get one that's like a 10 by 10, a smaller one. And like I think the smallest they have is a 10 by 12 or something like that. So that's what the thing with them. But I found a lot of really cool companies. I can't tell you how crazy my algorithm is now. My algorithm, look at this. Yeah,
all right.
this little video here. It's a good one. You want yourself a Purple Leaf after Purple
Yeah,
Leaf. You
look,
should sponsor and give me one.
look, it's going through the elements here. It's in the snow.
Mhm. A little dog
I mean, if
action.
that's not I really want one of these. This would be awesome.
I know. I've thought about it and gotten excited about it, but then I'm like, "Okay, is this really?" Because here's what I think to myself, and this is like a thing people dispute and they go back and forth with the sunrooms, is I'm like, "Is it gonna be, like, too hot to go in there when it's summertime, like right now?" And
Oh
then
yeah,
some
hell
people
yeah, yeah. You're
say
California, so
I know, and so some people are like, "Oh, you," and because I my whole thing is if I can put an AC in there, fine, like a little, window unit. That's what I did in the garage at the last house, but some people say, like, "Yeah," and then some people are like, "Oh, that's not safe." So that's why I've been on the fence with the sunroom. Purple Leaf, help a
purple
girl
leaf,
out,
dude.
please.
Let's do it.
Maybe that's why all this
I've also
misery has been happening to me so that you, Purple Leaf, can feel sorry for me and let me have my positive outcome by having my little space.
You could turn it into a little HGTV like reality pilot. You know,
There you
build your
go.
shed, build your podcast shed. Perfect. But I'll tell you what, I mean, like the fact you can go on Amazon and just put in house and that pops up is hilarious because I think it was the Sears catalog, like way back in the day, you could buy a house from Sears in a similar
Mhm.
fashion. It was
Mhm.
obviously a little bit bigger, but it's just friggin' nuts. Like you can have a house delivered to you or a little sunroom delivered to you within 5 days because of Amazon.
I
That one's
know.
ineligible for Prime, so it was like a 5-day turnaround.
And then there's these ones where I'm like, "Are you sure?" When it's like the guys are like, "Look, you just click, click, click," and there's like a bathroom and like a kitchen, and I'm just like, "I don't know, man. I don't know if like is that safe?" At least with the sunrooms or the sheds, you gotta like build it, but these like fancy tiny houses or whatever they call them that just kind of pop out of a box and you put it there and like click, click, click. I don't know. I feel like, what if you're sleeping in there or something and then it unclicks and then there you go. That's the end of you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I would totally fear the first wind that came through after I constructed a house would be like I watch these influencer guys that make like these fun houses in their house and it's like okay, if I attempted to do something like that the first time like my kid grabbed the grappling hook, they would crash right to the ground. That's the same thing that would happen with my outdoor house, like my backyard house. It would be the first gust of wind that came by. It'd be like the three little pigs, and the big bad wolf would just just blow my freaking house away.
I don't know. It seems too easy, these click, click, click houses, but they look, I don't know. Online, it looks cute, but I don't know. I never seen one in real life.
Oh my god. So okay, so over this time, which has been quite tumultuous, there's been quite a lot of TMI-ish uh topics that have been going on. Um anything caught your eye that you wanted to discuss? Is there anything that like it's been pressing on you? I mean, because again, it's been since almost the second week of July that we recorded
I know.
TMI. So, I had to like get the pipes all set
Well,
here. We
here's
were on a good run, but
I
I mean, like
know.
we got to get back into the swing here.
I know. Here's the thing. Here's something that's new-ish that happened. Okay, so go ahead, people. Come for me. I don't give a F. Like, it's fine. You're wasting your time because I literally don't care. Okay. So I don't know why. And I feel bad when I don't know somebody at all and I don't like them. There's 3 people in particular who I really, 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 really just I get, like, angry and I don't understand why, and I don't know them. One of them I've never met. 2 of them I've been around a couple times, but, like, heard nothing but nice things about them from other people, and those 3 people are the Young Bucks and Jack Perry. And so and I feel bad, and I've talked about this when I used to have a podcast before about, like, it was an ongoing thing about the Young Bucks, and I feel like such a bitch because, like I said, my peers, friends, former coworkers, most people's like I would hear really nice things about them, like they were really nice guys and this and that, positive things. And so I thought, man, what is wrong with me? Like, what is wrong with me? But then later, because I was vocal about feeling bad about it, it wasn't that like we made it a joke in my old podcast, but I really did feel bad. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, why? And then th- when I was being vocal about it, some people told me some stories that they had personally with them. And I was like, okay, yeah, I don't like them. So Jack Perry, I've never met a day in my life. I think he has really nice hair. It's about it. And so I just always got really rubbed wrong by him. And I always felt bad, but I didn't say anything. But then when I see people online talk about it, the reason why I put it over, and recently Bubba put it over, or he had said a comment or something. What was it? I can't even remember now. Yeah, there was some reference about how he never liked Jack Perry or some kind of something like that. And so, Bubba Dudley. So I retweeted it and I was like, he always rubbed me wrong too. And the reason why I did that wasn't to be like, oh, he always rubbed me wrong too. It was, oh my gosh, thank you. Cause he's always rubbed me wrong too. That was my vibe behind it. Like, if someone like Bubba, who's been around the guy, he's worked with the guy, shared a locker room with the guy, and I know a lot of people have things that are negative to say about Bubba and their opinion on him, but look, I've known that guy for a long time. I don't know him super well, but he's always been super cool to me. There's times like in TNA where I used to say some crazy ass shit, and he was always really, really nice to me, never treated me weird, and like my relationship with him, I'm not discounting anyone else and their relationship they had with him or experience if you're a fan and you met him somewhere. That's between you guys. I could only go by in a land of fake and phonies. He always treated me like a person. He treated me like a person. He didn't big dog me when he could have. He didn't when I saw him, I didn't see him big dogging people and this and that. He seemed like him and Devon were trying to have a good time, and they were still having kind of a good time in wrestling, and, like, they were one of the examples to me of, like, the Paul London and Spanky, like, vibes of making it fun, even if you're miserable, at your workspace,
Right.
like, still trying to, like, whatever. That was the Dudleys for me, and as I talked about on our show before, having that moment when they were in WrestleMania at the Arrowhead Pond, and that's when I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to be a wrestler. I have to make this happen," like, whatever. There it runs deep, and so it's so dumb to me that people are, like, chiming in. Like, this one guy was like, "Aren't you a MAGA or whatever?" And I'm thinking, "When the hell have I ever even talked about any like, what does that have to do what does not liking Jack Perry have to do with politics? 0." And I'm just like, "This is so dumb." And I was, like, I was on the toilet scrolling through Twitter, and I was like, this is what people have to say, and it's fine if you like him. And here's the other thing, it's like, to me, the reason why I retweeted that, people, was because someone in the business that has been around this person said that. That's why, because I'm a person that is in the business, even though I'm inactive right now, and I've never met him, so I felt bad. So to hear from someone that's not a fan or a mark say something about this individual, that made me feel like maybe I'm not a bitch, at least with Jack Perry.
Yeah. But the response that came to you was just off of your retweet. So think about the discussion that was being had before, just a freaking simple retweet where you just said always been rubbed wrong by Jack Perry. And then it was like just diarrhea of X, like just the stupidity that you expect, but on a retweet. So imagine what's been said before.
It's so dumb, and the thing is like, it's it's kind of fascinating to me in a way, in the sense of, look at that little face, I just want to smack him. Him and the Young Bucks, I just wanna smack them, dude. And then some people can
Which
say
is
the same
great.
thing about Bubba right there. I
I was
don't
gonna
wanna
say
smack
that
Bubba.
the
I
curmudgeon face
don't.
of Bubba in this picture,
I
versus
don't.
the smug half smile. But let me just throw out there, descendant of Dylan McKay.
Oh, I know. I met his father. I've posted about it. And here, I'm here to say this, Jack Perry, you are not your father.
I mean, come on. Still, a little bit. You can even see a little Dylan in the face.
You can, but he ain't Dylan. And you know what? And that's fine. He was never supposed to be. And I bet you part of Jack Perry's problem, if I were to guess, is he's always lived in his dad's shadow. Here, I'm gonna
Okay.
send you this picture. I don't know if you can share it on
This one
the.
says, I'm old enough to remember when Jack Perry's grandfather was blown up in a boat. 90210 reference right
Yep.
there.
Where's
Come
this
on.
picture?
Like that's where I love that's where that's a great comment
That is.
in
That
my
is.
opinion. If you have nothing to like provide that's going to make it productive, go with the joke and you have to get the joke to understand that. His dad, the dad from the Hogan family, was blown up in a boat.
Here's the thing. Here's why it's annoying, okay? It's it's annoying because everyone's entitled to their opinion, including me, right? But it's the comments that are so negative that have nothing to really do with anything of the original post or what I have to, it's literally, I disagree. You're disagreeing with me. You're not thinking like me. Well, I'm going to type this on the keyboard. That's the energy behind it. And it makes me, with everything I shared with you guys, been going, my patience for this like little boo boo face. I can't hang in live because I'm a soft ass little bitch vibe. I have no patience for that right now. Zero. Because I could easily, with all the shit that's happened in my life, make myself a little victim and, oh, a little soft ass little bitch, but I choose not to. And I've always chosen not to be a soft ass little bitch. I am sensitive as F, but I am not a soft ass little bitch. So that energy, I just can't. And it's really annoying me in the last few months because I can't. And that's what a lot of those tweets and those replies made me feel like, "Ugh, you just are like a little soft ass bitch that can't handle the fact that like I said something that you don't like, so you're gonna stomp off. Get the F out of here."
Were you sending me something because it has not
Yeah,
arrived?
I'm trying to find the picture still. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's 100% the case. And of course, infamous for Jack Perry was the CM Punk
Yeah.
backstage incident,
Mhm.
which I mean really stems from the fact that he was being like a little whiny bitch. And one guy I wouldn't step to or be a bitch to would be an ornery Punk. He seems like a guy who will literally do what he did and bitch slap you in the backstage area. I mean, for the fact that the freaking surveillance footage is out there for us to see is insane. But yeah, proven bitchness
And
from
this goes
one
back to
Jack
why
Perry.
it went through now. This goes back to why, like, I always was up Punk's ass, is because of course Punk's gonna do something like that, and whether people agree with that or not, that's that's the kind of people I appreciate. What and some of those people that are like that, I don't necessarily, like, consider people I'm tight with or that sometimes I even necessarily care to hang out with, but I will always dine with them. But I will always at least respect they are who they are, and whether or not you like them or not, they're unapologetically themselves. And that's what this Barbie bathing suit is to me. This is me not trying to be something. This isn't me trying to get attention. This is me being unapologetically myself. If I was sitting here at home sipping on some freaking champagne by myself, just being a champagne girl that wants to be sad and drink some champagne and then have some fun, I would be wearing this damn thing with no one seeing me, nothing. So I love unapologetically themselves people, even if they're the assholes, because I can respect somebody that is an asshole. They know they're an asshole and they will tell you themselves they're an asshole versus somebody that's a soft ass fake and phony bitch.
Bubba will tell you he's an asshole, but he's a respected asshole. His assholiness is well documented. I mean, what's he gonna do? Back away? Hell no. He goes right at it. But douchey guys like a Perry or like the Young Bucks, their little smirky face. I mean, they don't expect you to say, like, they don't want to say, yes, I am douchey. They think they're the greatest. And by the way, I see your picture, and I mean the bloodline that Jack Perry comes from. I mean, that picture is the epitome of cool.
You
With
got can you
that,
put it on the screen?
I
Is that
will,
too
yeah. Give me nope. Give me a second. I get it up
okay.
here. But just yeah, wow.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
apple in the
I know your
tree.
father.
Yeah, the apple falling certainly far from the tree in that regard, because I mean, it looks like one has just like that cool look to him. The other one just has a douchey look. Now, so where did you meet Luke Perry?
It was backstage at WWE. He was doing something on SmackDown. Like, I can't remember what it was, but he kept coming back. Like, they kept having him come back consecutively. I don't know if he was I have no recollection of what it was. It was something on SmackDown, and he was, like, involved for a few weeks. And so, I'll never forget. Do you Here's some TMI. Go ahead.
Oh, I got it. I've been waiting for it. Where the hell is it? I lost it now.
It's been so long.
There it is.
Okay. So I was backstage before taking this photo with I thought it was so fancy because I had a phone that was like this flip camera phone thing at that time.
That's amazing.
I had that point, it was supposed to be a step up from the Sidekick. And so, do you remember Trinity?
Oh yeah, of
That was in
course.
ECW? Okay. I don't know her well. I just know her from when she was in ECW and I was around her. And there was a time or 2 where Francine and I traveled with her. That's about it. So when I say this, I don't know her, like, whatever. So I'm just saying this as literally this is thoughts in my head, okay? So Trinity, don't get upset with me. And if you wanna talk about it, that's fine. So I don't know what that girl had going on back in the day, but it was weird, okay? I don't know. I don't know. And so she was talking to Luke Perry, right? And so I was in my Ariel outfit and I was like, "Oh," because I was so new at that time, right? And I wasn't sure what the protocol was with, like, celebrities, like, especially, like, I swear, like, nowadays, people are probably like, "Hey, no problem," like, whatever, it's different. But back then, like, I didn't know if, like, sometimes you're not supposed to be doing that kinda stuff? So when I saw Trinity over there taking a picture with him, I was like, "Oh, hell no. Dylan, are you kidding me? I'm going over there." So, because I'm me, when I went up to him, I wasn't like, "Hi, can I get a picture with you?" I was Ariel when I went up to him, and I went,
Oh,
"Well," I went, "Hello, Mr. Luke Perry," and I put my hand on him like this, and then Trinity looks at me, she goes, you're always trying to get involved in, like, the things that I," and she started cutting a promo on me, and so we
oh,
started
damn.
arguing in front of Luke Perry, and he's just sitting standing there like, "What is going on? These girls are like, are they fighting over me right now?" And then I can't even remember what the verbiage was. I just remember she was mad that I interrupted her moment with him, which maybe she thought I did that on purpose, and that's why she was so hot about it, but I didn't.
Right.
I looked at it as, "Oh my gosh, this might be my only opportunity. I didn't know we were allowed to do that. I am going to do this." And then I thought it would be a cool moment for me to say that I went up to Luke Perry and vamped him because I was in my aerial thing, right? And so, we took that photo right after we fought.
I mean, you're in full you could tell you're in full aerial mode. I mean, look at that. You got
Full,
the
full.
the makeup, the full gimmick, the teeth, the tongue. I mean, this
I
is
know.
the
He looks a
the,
little
uh,
scared.
you got
'Cause
you got the cleave right in the face. I mean, you're right. That's aerial right there.
those are when my boobs were so freaking new, I still had stitches in, so they were
Oh,
real
jeez.
big. And I just remember, "This is Dylan. I might never have this again." And look at him. He looks a little frightened, not because necessarily of Ariel, but because me and Trinity just had a full-on fight in front of him, shouting at each other.
I'm sure he's used to it at that point. I mean, I think he just looks so cool around the collar. Like he's just like, whatever, man. Let's
Maybe he
just
was
see what
feeling
happens.
good and just being like, "These girl bitches are fighting for me." This vampire girl and this, like, crazy New Yorker girl. So, yeah, dude, but the point
He knows
is
vampires. Buffy the Vampire
he
Slayer. Come on.
does, he does. OG, rest in peace. So here's the thing, based off of personal experiences with people that are of a star status, people know them like a Luke Perry. There's a lot of freaking jerks out there, entitled jerks that fit the bill. So it's interesting to me that, I mean, I don't know Luke Perry, but from the vibe of not just that situation, but I chatted with him afterwards for a little bit. And you would think that someone like a Luke Perry would be rubbing me wrong like the sun does because he's this entitled dude because he's freaking Luke Perry. I'm Dylan. But he was so just like a normal guy and just so just like excited to be there, but like, you know what I mean? Like it was cool. And it wasn't like he was trying to be cool. He just was like this cool, normal guy. And what made it so cool was knowing there's so many people that I've known personally that have a name like his or higher, and how they treat people, how they interact with people, their vibe in general. It's like, oh, what a waste. But with him, it was the opposite, at least with my experience with him. Again, he had been there a couple of weeks in a row, so I kind of got a little familiar with his vibe. And so it's so crazy that his son, who I've never met and I've only seen media-wise, I just wanna slap him.
Well, okay, and let's go back to the quote by Bully Ray because if you're not buying into the slap yet, let me bring up the quote one more time. Bully Ray says, "Jack Perry came off to me like a very disrespectful young wrestler, especially when I went out of my way to introduce myself to him and extend my hand with a smile on my face, and I was treated like a young boy by Jack Perry. So now let's go back to the old time honored tradition of handshaking in the locker room. Have you ever shaken the hand of somebody you were not thrilled to be shaking hands with?
Absolutely, and there's times that I refuse to shake certain people's hand. So I've done both. I've done both, and it takes a lot for me not to shake your hand because I can be professional, right? Like my whole story with Batista. Before we had our big blow up, Johnny A said, "Just go up to him and shake his hand." And I did. I was like, "Okay, if that's what is being asked of me, I have no problem with it." I wasn't like, "I'm not shaking his hand." I was like, "Okay, no problem. No problem." And it became a problem when he didn't accept my handshake, and that said
Right.
something, right? So and then there's times like there was somebody who really did me dirty in the business, and then the next time I saw them after they did me dirty at this, wrestling show, it was the meet and greet before. I just remember I was, like, at my table, and they came over, and they were like, "Oh, it's nice to see you. Just wanted to shake your hand." And I looked at them, and I said, "No, I'm not shaking your hand." And I turned my back to them. "Oh, you're just gonna not shake my hand like that?" I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not going to shake your hand. No." And then it's crazy because, like, I've always taken the shaking the hand so serious because I was brought up old school in this business. Whether people agree with the way I was brought up in this business or not, I was brought up old school. I took that Carney code and I kept true to it because it made sense to me. Maybe some of it sucked and it's not the coolest, but it made sense. And so this handshaking business, it made sense. And then when you don't shake someone's hand, I know how that also makes sense. But then it's like what went out the window for me with all of the Carney rules was just seeing the disrespect because around that time, that's when people that are the generation below me started having their coming ups and stuff, and I started to see little things like that with this new generation of wrestlers, and then each now it's been a couple generations after my time, and it's like, you have people like that, like a Jack there's a lot of little Jack Perrys out there, and it's unisex in the
Right.
business, and it makes me wanna throw the F up because back in my day, you would've got your ass beat. They went, "Oh, okay. We're gonna do drills right now. Get in the ring." And they would have beat their ass. I'm not saying it's right, but that's where I come from, so that's why I take it to heart, and when I started seeing that bullshit happening, that's when I was like, "How can I even be in wrestling anymore if now I have to tolerate this disrespect?" Like, I am not down with that. Like, that was one of the ingredients that went into it. I was just like, "Ew, gag me with a spoon." And so, this thing with Bubba, dude, Bubba's been around for a long ass time and he knows it. He knows it. So why, Jack Perry? Why did you snub Bubba? Inquiring minds must know. Say your piece. If you're not an asshole, why did you snub him or why does Bubba feel that you snubbed him? Please let us know. Let us know in the comments. Jack Perry. Only
Jack
you know
Perry,
the
yeah.
answer, okay? Only you, not anyone on the internet saying, "Well, oh, you're gonna take Bubba's side." No, bitches. Shut up, have a seat, go sit over there and watch. Jack Perry is the only one that can answer this. Jack Perry, why did you snub Bubba? And if you feel that you didn't, what happened that he feels that you did?
Okay. Yep. Jack Perry in the comments. We're waiting. We will wait. We'll wait. I don't care if we have to wait all night. I'm waiting.
But it's the truth, and
Well,
so there you go, and I thought it was just really like I said, it's kind of in a way fascinating that these people get so up in arms that, like, when you disagree with the way they think or feel just because someone's, like, their favorite or, some of these people that have said stuff to me, maybe they were just looking to, like, "Oh, now I have something to finally say to her," or whatever, and maybe it's just a release, I don't know. That's fine, I get that and I understand, but my energy, like I said at the beginning of this topic, My energy wasn't, "Oh, he always rubbed me wrong." It was, "Thank you, because like, he always rubbed me wrong, and I don't know why." And to hear this story, that's a quote from Bubba, not a whisper, a quote, that answers yeah, that's enough answer for me to know that I probably don't like Jack Perry.
Well, I have somebody that you need to add to your list that you didn't add to your list. And
Uh-oh.
this is a transition of sorts because the staff here at TMI would just love to send out a hearty get well to
Oh
Janelle Grant,
gosh.
who's been hospitalized with a concussion, broken ribs, and a lung hemorrhage following an accident of some sort. So I know Janelle might be on that list of the Bucks and Jack Perry, maybe on a lower tier, but Janelle Grant making the news not because of anything having to do with Vince McMahon. Now, let me point my cursor over the right
Oh my
side of the
gosh.
screen where somebody says this is Vince showing up at the hospital. It's a little picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin when he did the bedpan to McMahon. And then the attacker of Janelle Grant's accident being Vince McMahon, the higher power reveal. It's me, Austin. It was me all along. Or, oh, you got Hood Vince McMahon down here when he wore the do-rag. So
Mhm, mhm.
Janelle Grant back in the
So what
news.
happened? Does it
I
say
don't
what happened?
I just keep seeing it popping up. It must have just happened as we were recording because it says that she was just involved in an accident, and that's really all I'm at right now. Let me see. This says a fall inside her home left her badly injured, alone, and unable to remember what happened for days. What?
Did they jump her or something?
Did
Jeez.
did she fall off a 10th story balcony and like left for dead? Grant says she remembers tripping while walking back to bed, but almost everything after that is gone. She blacked out, continued falling in the days that followed, and had no idea how badly she had hurt herself until people around her realized something was wrong and got her to a hospital. Good Lord. Take
That's
a bump,
freaking
girl.
weird. That's freaking weird. That's I
She
don't know,
hasn't.
dude. I don't even know what to say about that. And here's the thing. I could easily sit here and make jokes and make fun of the girl, but I'm not because I'm genuinely like concerned of what happened to her. And yet you have people in the comments, as funny as they may be. But yet, because I'm a woman that's been in wrestling, that has a reputation of having a big mouth, people give me death threats when I just say my piece on Janelle Grant. It's so annoying. But people over here, I'm like, what happened to you, girl? Are you okay? Did you get jumped? Like, what is going on? And then there's people over here posting Vince stuff. Anyways, going back to that originator, here's the thing. So, ring something news is what you popped up, that whatever.
Ringside News, yes. Sometimes sensationalizing uh, stories at times.
What's their deal? Because here's the thing, my relationship with that handle, right? So, I would see stuff like this on my feed, and then I would retweet it and, like, give my 2 cents, and then one day they followed me. And then I kept retweeting them because I just liked their post and I had things to say about it. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll follow them." Like, that's cool. And so then, um, I had done a couple DMs with the guy, whatever. But then, like, there were some people that were telling me like this guy was involved in some shady stuff, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I DM'd him about something, and he totally no sold it. So I was like, "Ew, whatever." And then he DM'd me saying that he watched our show and that he loved, like, whatever, and that he covered something on it. And then he was like, "Oh, you're not following me anymore," because I ended up unfollowing him. I don't know if this was a work or not, like, if this dude's in the business or something, but he was, like, fighting with Joey Janela, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ew," like, No, no, and that's why I unfollowed him, and so the guy was like, like, "What happened?" And I didn't say anything, but now I am. It's like, that's what happened. That was my timeline. I liked the content. I was down for it. You hurt my feelings. I was still down for the content. I was warned about the guy. I still kept with it, but then when he fought with Janela, I was like, "Is this real?" I don't know. I just didn't like it, so then that's when I unfollowed him.
Okay, yeah, I think they were following me at some point too, and I have now seen I am follow less. But okay, so I think that their thing is yeah, there's some stories that go out there, but they've been defended as well on the other side by the gentleman behind Ringside News. But again, like they get clickbaity titles that make people want to check out their stuff. So in that regard, they earned their 387,000 followers. So that's great. Throughout the years, I feel the same way that you do. When the journalists try to, and that's air quotes, journalists try to get involved, like in that regard, and you're not doing your due diligence to like pump up certain guys. I'm not saying you gotta kiss their ass, so they will like be nice to you, grant you an interview. I'm not saying that, but like there's times where they get way too involved and a little too lippy, and it's just like, would Walter Cronkite have done that in the news world? Would like Dick Shapp, the old sports writer, would he get involved with like talking shit to the point to create buzz? So I mean, yeah, I'm there with you, but I mean, I have my favorites, who I like, and
It was a shame though because, like, you're right, they earned their followers because I that's what made me follow them. It wasn't that like, was, like, having some kind of motive. It was, I really like this content. I interact with it. A lot of it's wrestling related, most like, all of it is, right? Yeah, all of it's wrestling related, so I was like, "Okay." And I really enjoyed it, and then, like I said, that timeline happened, and I was just like, "I don't know, dude. This is doesn't sit right."
But okay, let's go back to, let's say, like when you broke in like '01, right? I mean, to me, like I lived and died on news and rumors in that time frame, right? And I mean, I have to say it was compelling stuff, and you would check every site to see if somebody had something different, just so you could be in the know as to what's going on. It's like all of these sites battle using the same content, but like it's all storyline driven content now. So seeing something like Janelle Grant falls and forgets her memory, and every time a bell rings, she shits her pants. When I see something like that, like I'm clicking on it, but I'm just scrolling through their timeline. We're recording this on a Monday night. Big Cass destroys Javon Evans for third time on August 17th Raw. That's not news. That's not news. That's just results. Judgment Day destroys Stephanie Vakar to open up Raw. That's not news. So there's been like a line that has been blurred and crossed for many, many years where and this is not a knock, but maybe the people in the business now aren't as interesting. So there's not as many things to report, but everything that they talk about is so storyline driven. So it brings back to your point of when he's arguing with Janela, you're going, is it a work? Is it not? Are they trying to generate buzz? Like, what's the deal? Because they got to like create the news because they're only reporting on stuff that's already been seen on TV.
And here's the thing, whether it was a work or not, like, let's say it was a work, right? It just gave me the ick because of everything you just said. Like, you're not in the business, bro. Like, no. And maybe it's not that people there's the gossip. I think the gossip's still there, but when you have now multiple companies, I feel like even though people don't realize it, especially in WWE, what gets out there is very protected, even though it's social media days, or era, I guess. I feel like the juicy stuff doesn't get out there because it's very controlled, because how society is now and social media, so these companies like a WWE have to start holding on to the reins a little bit more nowadays than before. It's kind of almost like reminds me of how it used to be in the golden era here in Hollywood, of when the studios were like really managing your life and really like it's what they put out there, the publicity they put out there, this, and this. And I know you have these different things like the punk stuff or whatever, and that tickles people, but I think that's what it is there's more control than we realize that go on with the big companies, you know? And
Yeah.
then the indie people, I feel that unless they're named indie people, like, I don't know, I just think that it's not that they're not interesting, it's just people don't know them like the people that are on TV. That's what my feeling is, and that's why you have these weird things going on and copy and paste things going on over here with these news things, and it sucks because I am a girl, I love gossip, I love it all. That's why I love these different accounts and, like, that run and stuff like that, and it is stale, and a lot of times I find myself saying, like, this is news? Like, you're saying, like, what, like, not that it's, "Oh, this is results," but, like, this is news, like, isn't there anything else to talk about here? Like, you're not giving me my fix.
Yeah. The biggest to me, the worst offenders of this are the influencer accounts. The news sites are whatever. They're trying to grasp at anything. The influencer sites are the worst because they'll pull up stuff that they got no business posting, that's old, and they try to make a story out of it, and it's just like people are starting to revolt in the comments being like, old news. This nobody cares.
Right.
Like we just want this, blah blah blah. But it's actually funny. It ties into one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and that is I saw on one of the influencer accounts they tried, and this is I'm not. I'm just gonna state my declaration of independence here. I am not talking anything related to politics or politically driven discussion. I am simply pointing out this influencing WWE account. There's a couple of them. There's the guy I make fun of all the time, which is I call him the pouty face guy. His name's Fade. So I call him pouty face guy because he looks like he's always like doing like in his picture. So and he always says the word man in his tweets. So I just retweet the word man with one of his one of his posts. But this other one, Tribal Chief, does the same thing. So I saw this today. Okay, this is Sophie Cunningham, who is a polarizing figure in the WNBA right now. She has spoken out against transgender athletes in women's sports. Okay. I'm not here to argue that. I'm not talking about that. I'm pointing out this post. This is, this to me is like a snitchy post that is purely driven to generate content. It's got 2.2 million views. And it points out Dominic Mysterio, Brie Bella, Jada Parker, and then looking at the picture, Maurice, Diana Perrazzo, Ray Phoenix, Megan Morant, all from the WWE, liked her post about what she's fighting against. So to me, they've got no news. And now this is just trying to create buzz by trying to get people in trouble. So it's like a negative look at the, you know what I'm trying to go with this?
Yes, it goes back to people getting so butthurt and nasty and ugly online and trying to start trouble because somebody has a different opinion of them or what they think is right, is what it comes down to. And so it's never, well, why do you feel that? Well, why is that the way you look at things? It's you're this, you're that, see. It's a little bratty ass, soft ass, little bitch energy. It's like, come on. I was just talking in this interview that I did yesterday. They asked me about Balls Mahoney, and one of the things I talked about was how I would ask him why he was down with the Church of Satan. And people didn't understand because I was so vocal about my relationship with God, why I was over there being BFF with Balls Mahoney, who talks about the Church of Satan. The reason why is just because we had this huge looks at different opinions and views of whatever. I asked him, and that opened up a conversation, and that opened up the beginning of our friendship. And that's why he's so near and dear to me and became one of my great friends for, with the time he was there. That's what can happen. But instead, people are just like, you don't believe what I do, or you don't look at the way the way I do, and it's like, come on, dude. And in this situation, naming people like that, or like trying to whatever, you're trying to get them in trouble or something. Like you're trying to go tell the teacher, oh, teacher, look, and it's like pick and choose. Say that if any of those people were liking a post of like Jeffrey Epstein or something, like that's something to be like, ew, like not their view. It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it just gets under my skin to see these like ridiculously over accounts like just post inane shit, and that is just a snitch. Let's get them in trouble, like again. And then like if you're an influencer account, wouldn't you want the wrestlers to retweet your stuff? So now you're alienating a good 7 or 8 different accounts. And I mean, if you see from that picture I had up, this picture it was taken, that person's following every single one of those people. So, like, what are you trying to do? Why are you alienating a segment of the business you're trying to promote? I mean, like, the influencers are the worst. They suck. I wish they would go away. This is where social media pisses me off. I enjoy things. I love seeing old commercials. I love like seeing like, nostalgic shit pop up. Instagram's my favorite because, your timeline is gaga. If you think about something, it pops up and boom. But this is the bad side of social media. And it's not just happening in wrestling, it's happening in baseball, it's happening in basketball, it's happening in entertainment. But that's that. And again, that was nothing politically driven at all by that comment. It was just to point out what we saw.
They ruined everything, these people. The people, and I feel some of them are bots, but it's both. It's not just bots. It's bots and these lame ass people that don't even know what the F they're talking about. So they pretend they know what the F they're talking about out there just being little soft ass bitches. And it's so annoying.
Super annoying. But you know what's not annoying? TMI being back together and you moving. We're going to move you forward. We're going to get you to where you need to be one step at a time. We're going to talk through it. We're going to get you comfortable. We're going to make you the Shelly we know you can be, just in a new environment. How's that sound?
Look, I know there's light at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel's like, is still dark, but we'll get there. And all of you guys out there will watch this whole saga unfold. Who am I? Where am I?
Where are you going? Where have you been? What's next? But we'll see what's next. But if you haven't seen what's next, you have to go back and experience episodes number 1 through 23 and 3 episodes of TMI's TNA days. So you've got a lot to catch up on if this is the first time you're checking it out. If it's something you haven't come back to in a while, we need you back. We need you here. We need you sharing, commenting, liking, the whole 9 yards. But TMI rolling into the fall here. We're getting into the fall. So in California, hot, I'm sure. Staying hot. Here, semi-hot. Getting there where we need to be.
Until it's always, I swear to you, like clockwork. It's always right when Halloween hits. That's when it starts to cool down. So, yeah.
A nice 75, maybe.
Something like
Something
that.
like
But like
that. Something like
September
that.
is like the worst. August, it gets
Ugh.
bad. But September is the worst. And I don't know why it's been programmed in my head that it's always August that's the hottest, but no, dude, it's always September. So I just gotta make it through September and I'll be fine.
Oh, see, my birthday's in September, and it's always on the first day of fall. So I think leaves blustering, the change to orange and, the trees, not heat, hot, sweating. Well, moving to Virginia, it's a lot hotter than it was in Jersey. So I don't know, but
Well, that's
I
why,
guess
like,
I'll live.
growing up here, when you would go to back to school shopping and stuff, it would be fall clothes, and so you're all excited, you know, wear your new clothes, but you can't. You gotta keep wearing your summer clothes because it's too damn hot.
I mean, it's the same thing. Everything we used to go back to school after Labor Day, so you got long sleeves and jeans. My kids go back, the first week of August. Everything is shorts and t-shirts, and it's complete opposite. So, what are you gonna do? Kids nowadays.
I know.
Old man yelling at the cloud. All right, if you want to follow me, it's at Chad EMB on X. And like I said, everything on the Shelly Martinez YouTube channel right here where you're watching. Take us with you on the go. Download YouTube Music. Listen to us as a podcast. You will not be disappointed.
What do I got going on? Well, just go to shellymartinez.net/links. It's all there.
It's all there. We're here. We're going to get you where you need to be, even if it means getting a portable little outhouse in the back for you to do your thing. We will get you where you need to go. So, all right. We'll check you next time on TMI for Shelly from Cali. This is your old buddy, the Chadster. We will catch you on the flip side.